Hey, it's Mike. It's Mike. I'm back. Um, it's kind of a continuation from my last one because I'm going to be talking about these pedo gurus, these pedophile gurus, and I want to get right into it. So we're going to go right into the opening. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so um, again, I'm getting this all from the Hare Krishna webpage. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you could join me. Um, so I'm continuing with what this relates to my last show. So the Hare Krishna webpage, this Krishna 1008 blog spot. It's a Hare Krishna page. It's all Hare Krishna stuff, and this is where I go to get updated because this is all the stuff, all the Hare Krishna stuff. So this is a case of a pedophile guru not being no consequences for their actions. They just get to go on with life like nothing happened. Like where is that? Where is that normal? I mean, I don't. So um, so here we go. So I guess we're gonna work backwards. We're gonna work backwards because this is dated February 15th, 2025. So this just came out. This was yesterday. Yesterday. Today for some of you, yesterday for me. Um, but here it is. So, and this is coming from Hare Krishnas. They Hare Krishnas keep tabs on this stuff on their own doing. So, uh, 15 February 2025. Call the police. It says. Let me show you what it says here. Call the police, dear friends and members, because again, this is coming from within the house. Okay, there's a ringing in the audio. About now, is it better? Is that better? Is the audio better now? I don't know what's causing that. Um, you tell me if it's. Is it getting any? Did it get any better? Because system audio. I don't know what's going on. Um, let's see. It's still ringing. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Should I don't know what I should do. Should I it and fix the audio because I can't. I don't hear any ringing. Um, how about now? Is it better now? I think that might have fixed it. What do you think? Do you think I fixed it? Should I start over? Ding. No, that I don't know what that did. Oh well, yeah, that should have fixed it, but I don't know. But it's still there's still a ringing in there, huh? Even though I don't know what I did. Uh, Everything seems to be right. So I'll just keep going. I'm really kind of disappointed that there's a ringing. Because nothing has. Oh, let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to this. I hope it's not too. I hope it's not too distracting. The ringing, or whatever is wrong. I hope it's hope it's not too distracting. But so this is what it says. It says, okay, this is dated February 15th. It says, "Dear friends and members." Of course, that means Hare Krishna members. So it says, ISKCON's longest-running sexploiter, Anirudesha Vapu, the former Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami, has turned up in England with his blind following. Many have wondered about his cloth fetish. From the Facebook page Vedic Inquirer, Anirudesha Vapu isn't finding life too difficult after being exposed as the longest-running child abuser in ISKCON's history. He is doing a spot of shopping in the scenic English town of Bath with followers who warn us not to believe everything you read online. I presume this includes following the official GBC statement. The report ascertains that Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami, also known as Alan Ross Wexler, now to be known as Anirudesha Vapu Das, repeatedly engaged in the sexual abuse of a minor girl, as well as other forms of sexual harassment, emotional and psychological abuse of minors, and also engaged in sexual acts with an adult woman. He has admitted to some of these grave offenses while under investigation. Oops. So there you see this guru. He's even admitted to these things. He's admitted to molesting an underage girl, and then having sexual relations with one of his disciples, with a woman. I'm sure it was one of his disciples, and abusing other kids because he was the head of the school. He was the head of the school. So here's this guy. Well. Let me get caught up here. Let me find this guy again. Okay. So this guy is now just hanging out in London and shopping with some disciples, some hanger-on, some disciples that they don't care that he's admitted to having sex with an underage girl and molesting other kids while being the head of the school and having sex with one of his disciples. They don't care about that. Why wouldn't you care about that? The whole premise is that he's supposed to be in this guru, in this chain, in this line, and he's your connection to Krishna and this. And now it comes out that he's a pedophile, a child molester, and he's broken many of his vows. Obviously, the Krishna stuff doesn't work. It didn't It didn't help him. No, it didn't help him. It created him. Because he believes 100% women are less intelligent. Women like to be raped. Doesn't give a fuck about the kids. Just like Prabhupada. Prabhupada had sex with an 11-year-old girl when he was 22. It's not that big a deal. That's what they think. Because that's what the books tell them. It's not that big a deal. Just like Dhamma Ghosh was trying to tell me. It's not that big a deal. It's not a big deal that Prabhupada was 22 years old, had sex with an 11-year-old girl, and then put in his books that prepubescent girls must be married to 24-year-old men. That's in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he says it more than one place. That's what I keep saying over and over again. You put all these different ideas, they're the same idea. It's the same idea. Women are less intelligent, therefore they like to be raped. They have no sense. 11-year-old girls, they make great wives. The gopis were 11. Women are 9 times lustier than men. Women are lustier than men. Women are lustier than men. Who believes that? Women, I mean, if you want to talk about like a natural propensity, a man has a natural to protect women and his family, and women have a natural propensity to care for children and raise them and children. That's about it. Women are not less intelligent. They're not 9 times lustier than men. They don't like to be raped. They shouldn't be married at 11 years old before they This is all stuff that they believe. This is all stuff that's in their books. Where do you think this stuff is coming from? I show you where it is. You can go online right here, and you can read it all right here on this webpage. All the pedophilia, all the places where he says women must be married. You can even hear him say it. They have recordings of him speaking this crap. So you can read it, and then you can play the recording of him saying it. All the stuff about Negroes. All the stuff about women being less intelligent. All the stuff about how women like to be raped. You can hear that conversation with the news reporter where he totally just insults her and ridicules her. Tells her that she has a small brain, she's stupid. All she's doing is her job interviewing this guy for the newspaper, which he obviously agreed to. And then she sits down with him and he's totally insulting her. Totally an asshole. And his disciples are eating it up. You can watch that video. You can watch that video on YouTube or wherever. I don't know where it is. If I can find it, I'll show you. But you can hear the audio. You can read the transcript, and you can listen to it. You can listen to him being a fucking rude, belligerent asshole. He's no fucking spiritual anything. He's no spiritual. He doesn't have any kind of spiritual realization or understanding that he can share with anyone to make their life better. He's nothing. Like a con man. Everything he says is a bunch of bull. A bunch of fluff, a bunch of doublespeak, a bunch of talking in circles and circular logic and based on scripture. And he say whatever he wants, and then he say something about scripture. Well, black people shouldn't have come out of the jungle because Lord Rama says blah blah blah, or because Krishna says blah blah blah, whatever. He doesn't have any spiritual understanding. He doesn't have any understanding to give you. Anything that's going to open up your mind and make you look at life and make your life better. It's all racist, sexist, pedophilic bullshit. Look at this guy. This guy. This Anirudesha Vapu, this Swami who became Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami, was exposed to this cause longest running sexual exploiter. That's quite a title, because there's been so many of them. But they still think that it's not Prabhupada's fault. They think that somehow this Bhaktividya Purna Swami, he was a pedophile and then he joined. Let's look at who he is, according to his webpage. Oh look! Oh my goodness! A short biography of His Holiness. His Holiness Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami Maharaj. What is so holy about him? What makes him holy? Because he puts on his webpage His Holiness, because a bunch of his brainwashed freaks call him His Holiness? What's holy about him? What's holy about him when he's molesting underage girls? How does that make him holy? He's breaking his vows. The vows are supposed to make him holy. He's breaking them. How is he His Holiness Bhaktividya Purna Swami Maharaj? He's got more honorific titles than the goddamn Pope. The Pope is Pope Francis whatever, or Benedict the Third, or Pope John Paul. No, this guy's His Holiness Bhaktividya Purna Swami Maharaj Parijaka Akacharya, whatever. What the fuck? How fucking megalomaniac is that? Well, Prabhupada was bad enough. He was Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Meanwhile, he was really a pedofraud. This guy's got the fucking nerve to put short biography of His Holiness Bhaktividya Purna Swami Maharaj when he knows that he's full of shit. His Holiness Bhaktividya Purna Swami Prabhupada appeared in 1955 in Santa Monica. Appeared He appeared in 1955 in Santa Monica, California, like he descended from the heavens. This guy appeared in Santa Monica in 1955 like he was the second coming. How about he was born in Santa Monica in 1955? Fuck, I was born in 1961 in Santa Monica. Did I appear? Mike Sandoval appeared in Santa Monica on November 1st, 1961. He appeared. This pedophile has got the nerve to say, to glorify his birth by saying he appeared in divine light in Santa Monica in 1955. Aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky? How fortunate we are that we live in the age when His Holiness A.V. See, it's not even Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj. It's A.V. Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj. That A.V. is that Anir Yavesha Vapu Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj. Who the fuck does he think he is? Who do these guys think they are? They're friggin' pedophiles cosplaying as some friggin' Indian guru. This guy's from Santa Monica. This guy's from Santa Monica. That guy's from Santa Monica. 1955. He's 6 years older than me. He's 6 years older than me. He was riding his little friggin' Schwinn bike around the neighborhood, popping wheelies and picking his nose when I was born. He's no fucking Swami. What the fuck? People believe that he's like some kind of spiritual guy, lead Dalai Lama or something. The fucking stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. He appeared in Santa Monica in 1955. When he was only 3 years old, he lost his mother in a car accident while driving to a car rally in which she was participating with her husband. And he came under the care of his grandfather at his farm in Ashland, Oregon, with whom he stayed until 5 years of age. Okay, that's unfortunate. His father remarried and the family moved to Eugene, Oregon. When he was 12, his father moved to Los Angeles while he continued his education in Oregon until the age of 18. He was always dissatisfied with materialistic education. Okay, there you go. You know, it's like they got to make him out to be like he's this gift from God. He came down he came down from the spiritual world, and he appeared in Santa Monica by his own causeless mercy, his own divine causeless mercy, because he's a divine grace, right? His holiness. So his own holiness, his own divine holiness, he descended from the heavens and appeared in Santa Monica and pretended to be an ordinary person, where his mom was unfortunately killed in a car accident. And then he went and he lived in Oregon until he was what are they trying to say? He was always dissatisfied with materialistic education. Yeah, he was always a spiritual kid. Even from when he was a little kid, he was spiritually. He was. Who do you think? How stupid do you think I am? He was attracted by the higher paths of life. What he read Khalil Gibran, the prophet. Was that his higher paths of life? What was he listening to? Frank Zappa, Mothers of Invention. What was his higher? What were these higher paths of life that he was attracted to? That's what I want to know. What in 1968, 67? Not even that. He was born in 55. So when he was 10 years old, 1965, what was his higher path of life that he was attracted to in 1965? This is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever read, other than Prabhupada's biography. After leaving school in 1973, he met His Holiness Sri Dayananda Goswami. Oh, there's a winner for you. So he met Sri Dayananda Goswami, who was preaching at the University of Oregon. See, there you go. He's at the University of Oregon. This guy, Purna Swami, whatever. He's hanging out at the Oregon State University of Oregon, and he sees Sri Dayananda Goswami, and he becomes like, oh, there's my guru, or whatever. So he was impressed with Sri Dayananda's, Hare Krishna's Halava, and Dinabandhu Prabhu's Kirtan. So let me just tell you, I know all three of those guys. I don't know them. I know who they are, and I've been Dinabandhu. I know who I in Vrindavan. He was the guy in Vrindavan. He was like the temple. He wasn't the temple president. I knew the temple president in Vrindavan. He wasn't the temple president, but Dinabandhu was like the head, one of the head guys there in Vrindavan. And then Hare Krishna was initiated at the same time as my friend that got me into the Hare Krishnas. So I knew my friend's name was Bir Lakshman, and this Hare Krishna. So when they were initiated, they all got the name Bir. It was Bir Raghava, Bir Krishna, Bir Lakshman, and Bir something else. All on the same letter of initiation when Prabhupada initiated them. And he said, these are their names. And it was Bir Krishna, Bir Raghava, Bir Lakshman, and Bir. And so I happened to meet Bir Lakshman. And Bir Krishna, one of the other guys on the letter, ended up going and becoming this Swami guy. So this Bhaktavidya Purna, he joined this party. He went to Denver and then St. Louis, and he was distributing books. And then he was initiated by Prabhupada himself in 1974. He was given the name Anir Desha Vapu Das. Then he went to Mayapur and Vrindavan. And he traveled around distributing books. They make it sound like it was such a big deal, but when you read it, it really sounds like, it says, with the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, Pancha Dravida and Akshayananda Maharajas began the first BBT traveling Sankirtan party, and he traveled with them as a brahmachari assistant based out of the Hyderabad temple. From there, they went out to Bangalore and Madras, organizing preaching programs and making the first life members there. See, it kind of gives you a romance. It was no big deal. Okay, they had some books. They went, rented a room somewhere. They were. It makes it sound like they did something, like they were doing something. But you read this, oh my goodness, you go, oh, this guy, wow, he did all this stuff. He went to Portland, Denver, St. Louis, and he got initiated, and he went to Mayapur, and then he went to Vrindavan, and then Bombay, and then he was assisting Giriraj Maharaj, and then he was assisting, and then he went with Pancha Dravida and Akshayananda Maharaj and the first traveling Sankirtan party, and then he was a brahmachari assistant, and then he during Janmashtami he received second initiation and presided by. it does. It was. It's nothing like what it sounds. That's what's really funny, because now that I know what all this is, it's like I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed to put this up. Like I could do this. I could do the. If I laid out everything I did in the 20 years that I was in the Hare Krishnas, I could make a page like this. And I could dress up like a guru guy, and I could be like, and then, or you know, and I could put, that I joined ISKCON. I met, by the grace of Krishna, I appeared in Santa Monica in 1961. That sounds good. I appeared in Santa Monica in 1961, and then I was dissatisfied with material learning. Well, I didn't like, I did like high school like everybody else, and then I was dissatisfied with I was attracted to higher learning. I like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. Is that higher learning? I don't know. I could put anything. I was attracted to. I read a book about Krishnamurti when I was 16. But I could really romanticize it. I could be, I read some books about some gurus, Krishnamurti, whatever, and then by the grace of Krishna, my brother moved across the street from the L.A. Temple, and I used to go to the L.A. I used to go visit my brother at the L.A. Temple before they owned the whole thing, and I remember seeing him there. And I could say, well, that planted the seed in my head. Even at that young age, I was attracted to Krishna. I was already attracted to the Hare Krishna temple. And then years later, who do I meet? Bir Lakshman, who was initiated by Srila Prabhupada himself on a leather with 3 other beers. Bir Raghava, Bir Krishna, and Bir whoever. And then I ended up working for ITV. And then I go and I go to India, and I go to Vrindavan, and I do this, and I do that, and I meet this guy and that guy, and Radha Kundadas, and I meet all these different people. And then I worked at the LA Temple and doing ITV and helping with the Rath Yatra, building the new Rath Yatra carts. I helped build the new Rath Yatra carts in Los Angeles. And I did the TV show on public access TV. I could make myself sound like I really did something. And then I became a guru. And then I became a guru. And then I fell down. And it would look just like this guy's page. In 1987, on the occasion of the appearance of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he accepted the renounced order of life from Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and he became Bhaktividya Purna Swami. In 1988, with the blessings of Mayapur leaders, he began to accept disciples. In 1991, due to upheavals of running the school, he started running the school. Bhaktividya, so everybody got focused exclusively on the Brahminical Vedic culture, education. In 1992, Maharaj participated in the preaching tours of Europe, and he recently completed teaching Bhaktivedanta Academy's 12-year philosophy course. So, in the name of truthfulness, they leave out the accusations of that he admitted to. He admitted to doing what they said he did. Let's see what they say he did. So this is from another ISKCON page. And there you can see this guy, this amazing guy who, by the grace of God, he appeared in Santa Monica in 1955 just to save us all. And it's so wonderful that he was just so merciful to do that. to come down and appear in Santa Monica in 1955. But anyway, so this is what it says about him, and this is from January 2023. So this is not ancient history. This is not from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s. Let's see what it says. Let me see. It says, ISKCON imposes ban on Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami by ISKCON Communications 1/19/2023. ISKCON imposes ban on Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami for sexual abuse of minor and leadership abuse. On October 28, 2022, the ISKCON Central Office of Child Protection, also referred to as the Child Protection Office, released its official decision regarding Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami, also known as Alan Ross Wexler. Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami was found responsible for sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and psychological abuse of a female minor. The Child Protection Office case against Bhakti Vidya Purna Swami is from newly reported incidents that occurred between 2005 and 2010. The news of this past child abuse has had severe repercussions among the global community of ISKCON devotees. I don't know why, because there have been numerous cases of child abuse, and none of it has ever had any severe repercussions throughout the global community of ISKCON devotees. ISKCON devotees don't care that their gurus are pedophiles, and they continue to worship them and promote them and fund them and distribute their books and everything else. They don't care. So when it says that there's been, severe repercussions among the global community of ISKCON devotees, I don't agree. What? What repercussions? Did people leave? Did a lot of people leave? It doesn't say that any people have. It doesn't say, that the news of this past child abuse has caused many devotees to leave. It just says severe repercussions among global community of ISKCON devotees. What severe repercussions? The ISKCON global community sends our prayers for the healing of the victims and their families. So they recognize that there's victims and families of victims that have been harmed and need healing. They recognize that. This case demonstrates why ISKCON globally must continue to be vigilant about child protection and to ensure vulnerable devotees in our society are safe in creating a house where everyone can live that our founder, Srila Prabhupada, built for us all. So, if this case demonstrates why ISKCON globally must continue to be vigilant about child protection and to ensure vulnerable devotees in our society are safe, surely you guys turn this guy in to the authorities. How can you be vigilant about child protection and ensure vulnerable devotees in our society are safe if you're not turning these people in? In addition to child abuse, incidents of spiritual leadership, sexual misconduct involving BVPS, Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami, have become apparent but are beyond the purview of the Child Protection Office to evaluate. So this is why the authorities need to be. You can't just let gurus and people abuse women and children and whoever, men, boys, and get away with it. You cannot protect children by letting people get away with harming children. It's not child protection, it's guru protection. They're there to protect the gurus. Okay, he's admitted that he did it. The kids have come out and said that he molested them. He's admitted that he did it. So why isn't he in jail? Why isn't he in jail? He's confessed to what they said he did. And he's been found responsible for sexual abuse and sexual harassment and psychological abuse of a female minor. Their own organization has found him responsible for what the kids say he did. But they don't do anything about it. He can't come to the temple meeting. I'm getting ahead of myself. In addition to child abuse, incidents of spiritual leadership and sexual misconduct involving VPS have become apparent but are beyond the purview of the Child Protection Office to evaluate. VPS, Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami, was an initiating guru, sannyasi, principal of the school, a Srila Prabhupada disciple, a senior leader of Mayapur, and decades older than the victims. So even though he was all of that, he still couldn't stop himself. All the chanting, all the books, all the halava and the prasadam, all the worshipping and the flowers, all of that, following the four regulative principles: no eating meat, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, all of those things, observing all the holidays, all the rounds and rounds of japa. And he still could not stop himself. If he can't control himself, how do you expect anyone else to? He's at the top. These guys are at the top. We're not talking about some degenerate janitor who comes in. He's only been hanging around for 1 or 2 days. He grabs a little girl and takes her behind the bench and feels her up behind the building. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a guru who's spent 25 years, a guy who appeared from heaven in 1955 in Santa Maria. He appeared through his causeless mercy to just deliver the world and shower us with a higher stage, a higher level of understand, a higher whatever, through his causeless mercy. And he had this amazing life where he was this and he was that. And then he met this guy and met that guy, and through this amazing chain of events, this spiritual awakening and this whole thing. And then he becomes guru, and he becomes this, and he becomes the head of the school, and he travels around, he does books, and he's doing all these great things. That's who we're talking about. He ends up molesting a little girl. More than one. And abusing others. And abusing his disciple, having a sexual relationship with one of his disciples. So after 25 years or more, 45 years of chanting Hare Krishna and doing all this bullshit, after 45 years, after 45, now you're going to decide to become a pedophile and start molesting little girls? Really? That's what I'm saying. I could make a web page. I could be a guru. I was in it for 20 years. I never molested a little girl. Why not me? I never touched any little girl. This guy, he's a guru, traveling around the world, did all that bullshit, all that stuff, and he's still touching little girls. He's not the only one. He's one of many of these guys. These guys are a dime a dozen in this freaking cult. That's why children are not safe in this cult. They're not safe. They're definitely not safe in that school. After all the stuff that I've shown on the internet about pedophile gurus and pedophile teachers and all the crap that's in the books and all the stuff that Prabhupada has said and all the stuff that Prabhupada has done and all the stuff that his disciples have done and all the stuff that the gurus have done, including this guy. If you know all that stuff, and it's not just me, I'm showing you where it is on the internet. You can go find all this stuff yourself. It's their own people. It's all, the call is coming from in the house. It's their own people are telling you how fucking bad it is. But they're so brainwashed, they don't even see it. There are web pages after web pages telling you how these guys are friggin' criminals, how they're pedophiles, how they're this, and how they're that, and what they've done, and how bad they are. This page goes on and on about how these guys in Italy are doing bad stuff, how these guys in England are doing bad stuff, how these gurus are doing bad stuff. How is it that this friggin' guru guy is just hanging out in England with his friggin' disciples, going shopping? After admitting to sexual abuse to a minor. The guy belongs in jail. He's just out walking around like he's just walking around like it's no big deal. He's no different than the guy that raped the little girl behind the stage at the festival and then went back on stage to sing in front of the crowd. This guy's no different than that. They're exactly the same. Where do they think that that is okay and that you can do that shit and hold your head up high and walk around like you're friggin' king of the world? But Prabhupada did it. Prabhupada raped an 11-year-old girl when he was 22, and he walked around like he was the king of the world. Prabhupada didn't give a fuck that he raped an 11-year-old girl when he was 22 years old. He didn't give a fuck at all. These guys don't care either. This guy's still got followers. I would be so embarrassed that I wouldn't want to show my face in front of my followers. You guys have no friggin' shame. You're a friggin' guru. You've got all these disciples that worship you like you're God. You got a webpage where it says that you appeared in Santa Monica in 1955. You appeared. And then he gets caught with an underage girl, and he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. This guy's got a webpage where he says he descended and he just appeared in Santa Monica in 1955 like he was the second coming of Christ. Like he just appeared. And then he goes on to friggin' molest little girls. And he ain't got no shame. None. None. Just like the guy that took the girl behind the stage at the Krishna festival and he raped that little girl and then he went right back up on stage. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. He raped a 13-year-old girl behind the stage at a Hare Krishna festival and then left her in the dirt and went right back up on stage to sing to the crowd and pretend like he was some spiritual Krishna singer guy. How fucking sick is that? How fucking sick is that? It's just as sick as this guru guy who says he appeared in Santa Monica in 1955 and then he goes on to molest an underage female, admit to it. He admits it. They ban him. They go, you can't be in you. So he's like, well, I'll just take my followers with me. I'll go to England and go do some shopping. Because I'm not in jail. I still got my followers. They still worship me. Give me money, pay for my airline tickets, pay for my clothes, pay for my hotel rooms. Can you believe this is going on? If that's not a pedophile cult, man, I don't know what to call it. If you don't want to call that a pedophile cult, you got these people that are following this guy around, worshiping him, and he admits to being a pedophile. He admits that he had I can't. He has admitted to some of these grave offenses while under investigation. But they did not turn him in. He's never been brought to justice, even though he's admitted to it. He's admitted to some of the most heinous, to some grave offenses. Why wouldn't you call the police? Why wouldn't you call the police? How is it not a pedophile cult? How is it not a cult of pedophiles and people who protect them? Explain to me how it's not. This is a completely different person than the last person I was talking about. And that person was different than the other person I was talking about. And that person's different from the other person I was talking about. It's not like... I These people are sick. These people are sick. And there's no way you can talk about it and expose it without sounding a little bit crazy yourself. I know that I have to sound just a little bit crazy, because what I'm saying sounds so crazy. That these guys are being worshipped by the same children that they abuse, and the same women they abuse. Literally being worshipped by the same people that they are abusing. Children that are being abused are being forced to worship these people, these gurus. It is a sick pedophile cult. No child is safe in the Hare Krishna cult. It is a sick, disgusting cult. And, okay, so this guy, back to this guy. So a joint investigation is being undertaken by the Prevention Leadership Misconduct Office, the Sannyas Ministry, and the Guru Ministry. Bhaktivedanta Purnaswamy has had two previous Child Protection Office investigations and decisions regarding allegations of child abuse. So this is the third investigation and third decision. Okay, so not just one, not just two, it's three, and I guarantee you there's more. In 2000, the CPO case was centered around allegations from the 80s and 90s. So he's been doing this since the 80s. He's been molesting children since the 1980s. So for 40 something years, this guy. When from the 80s and 90s, when he was served as principal of the Bhaktivedanta Academy Gurukula Boys School, and admitted to imposing excessive physical punishments, CPO Report 2000. Further, the investigation found that Bhaktivedanta Purnaswamy was aware of incidences of child sexual abuse, but chose to ignore them. Consequently, he was restricted from any role directly in connection with children, barred from initiating disciples, giving classes for a specified time. He was later banned from accepting any new disciples for life. A CPO investigation following this in 2007, which was inconclusive. In 2015, a CPO case, Child Protection Office case, was made against the Bhaktivedanta Academy, girls' school, and although not mandated by the Child Protection Office, it ultimately led to the school's shutdown. Although Bhaktivedanta Vidyapurna Swami was not the primary person under investigation, the Child Protection Office discovered that he had promoted a culture of fear surrounding the school and speaking out. The office further noted Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami's inappropriate behavior with a young female at that time that should have been reviewed by the Sannyas Committee. These committees and groups and organizations, it's all bullshit. It sounds like it's a committee, like there's a board of of normal responsible. No, it's like three wackos sitting in a hut somewhere going, well, if we say anything, it's just gonna ruin book distribution, and book distribution, is really, that's all it is. There's no friggin' board or no child protection office, no sannyas ministry, leadership misconduct office. That's all bullshit. They don't give a fuck about the kids. They don't give a fuck about women. They don't give a fuck about any of this shit. All these things just exist to like human resources, like just to make everything go away. That's all it is. Just like when they broke that pedophile out of jail, and then they wanted me to go along with it, and I said, I'm not going along with that shit. All hell broke loose. You gotta go along with it. You can't speak out. You can't go against what we say. People are disgusting, I'm telling you. I know firsthand exactly how fucking disgusting they are. I know exactly how fucking disgusting they are. This bullshit about kids and children. I don't give a fuck about children. If they gave a fuck about children, they wouldn't have busted that pedophile out of jail and then put him right back in charge of a fucking school. This latest CPO case is the fourth in a series of related investigations, each conducted by previous CPO directors and informal investigations done by parents dating back to 1991. This guy has been molesting children and doing shit for like 50 years. Since the 80s. For like over 40 years. 40 something years. And nothing's ever been done about it. Nothing. He's been molesting and abusing children. At least he's been a raging asshole. At worst, he's been a fucking child abusing rapist. Okay? And somewhere and anywhere in between. He's admitted He's admitted to shit. And the worst thing is nothing. The worst thing that's happened to him is nothing. Nothing has happened to him. He was able to just go right into being a guru. He did this and he did that and he cooked this and then he went there and he got initiated and second initiation and he went with Maharaj and he did the book distribution and then he went to this temple and then he did this and he went to there and then did this all the time, the whole time he's abusing kids. And then he became the headmaster of this school, and then he went to this school, and then he did this, and then he did that. Meanwhile, while he's abusing kids. And then he became a sannyasi, and then he became a guru, and then he did this, and all while molesting kids. All while molesting kids. He's been molesting kids since the 80s. Since the 1980s. Still molesting kids. No justice. This guy's allowed to just walk the streets free. He goes on shopping sprees in the UK. Fucking insanity. Friggin' insanity. He appeared in Santa Monica in 1955 out of his causeless murder. He just came down and appeared in a golden, friggin' golden egg. The guy belongs in fucking jail, okay? The guy belongs in jail. Multiple accusations of child abuse going back to the 80s, and he's admitted to some. He's admitted to some horrible stuff according to what the investigators have said, and yet he walks free to do whatever he wants. What planet do they think they live on? We allow these people in our society, in our cities, to have temples in our cities, to move freely among us with their books full of this crap that takes normal, ordinary people and turns them into fucking sexual offenders who think that they just descend from God down and appear free to molest children with no consequences. We let these people live among us and spread their books of bullshit and abuse our children and march in the Martin Luther King Day parade and march in the Gay Pride parade and march in the Christmas parade or whatever other friggin' parade they weasel their way into so they can spread their bullshit. And we allow that? I'm gonna end it here. I'm too excited. I can't take it. I can't take these fuckers, man. And the nerve that they have to act like they are doing something to protect people. Oh, what did they say? Oh, he may not reside or visit ISKCON Mayapur again. He has to leave. He may not stay overnight or reside in ISKCON. He may not hold any position of leadership. He may not continue to give first, second, or sannyas initiation. He may not give class or lead kirtan. He may not... How about going to jail? How about turning his ass in and sending his ass to jail? How about doing that? None of that does anything for anybody. That doesn't protect society from this guy. He may not give class or lead kirtan. How does that protect society? He may not perform brahminical services such as cooking or dressing the deities. How does that protect society and protect children from this guy? He may not, he shall not service involving children in any ISKCON temple. What about children who are not in ISKCON? What about just ordinary children? Can he cook for them? Can he work in a public school if they don't know that he has all these allegations? Can he go and say, hey, well, I was a school teacher. Can I work in your school? Can he do that? His record's clean. They do a background check on him. Nothing pops up. He's perfectly safe. He can work in any public school. He could go to work at LA Unified School District. Be teaching kids in a LA Unified School District. Do you want this guy? You want this guy teaching in LA Unified School District? You want this guy teaching anywhere in any public school? ISKCON doesn't want him teaching in their school. Why should LA Unified want him? Well, LA Unified won't know that he's a child molester, will they? He shall not have service involving children in any ISKCON temple, school, or project in any capacity whatsoever. So they're afraid of him being around their children, but they don't give a fuck about him being around anybody else's kids. They don't care if he goes to the supermarket and he molests some little kid in the bathroom in a supermarket. They just don't want him around their temple, or they don't want him around their school. He can go to Venice Beach and molest kids down in Venice Beach. ISKCON doesn't give a fuck about that, but they don't want him around their temple on Watsika Avenue. Oh, he can go to Golden Gate Park and he can molest kids in Golden Gate Park, but don't come around our temple in Berkeley. Oh, he can go molest kids, in San Diego somewhere, in Balboa Park, or at the San Diego Zoo or SeaWorld. They don't care if he goes around there, but he can't go to the San Diego Temple. He goes to the San Diego Temple. He's banned from there. Well, why are you banning him from the San Diego Temple? Well, he's admitted to sexual abuse of children. Well, why don't you call the fucking police then? This guy. This guy has admitted. He's admitted. He admits it. He's been abusing children since the 80s. And he's still walking around freely. He's got a smile and a smirk on his face. Look at him. Smirking around like, ha ha, you can't catch me. He appeared in Santa Monica in 1955. What the fucking balls that guy's got to put on there that he appeared and that he's like some special kind of guy when all he is a fucking pedophile. He admits it. ISKCON says. Bhaktividya Purna Swami was found responsible for sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and psychological abuse of a female minor. Sexual abuse and psychological abuse of a female minor. He's admitted to it. And there are absolutely no repercussions or consequences for this disgusting piece of shit. None. So fucking disgusting. So anyway, that's gonna be it for today. I'll have to fix my sound effects, make sure that I can hear what's going on. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Get the word out. These fuckers need to end. This goddamn pedophile cult. These people are sick, disgusting. Sick, disgusting people. Alright, everybody. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. And let's see what we can do as far as this goes here. Let me see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
I was in the bar for a drink or two. I met a girl named Mary Lou. Her blue jeans were so tight and cut so low. Those jeans were stretched across her butt. On a belt she wore a rabbit's foot, and I couldn't help but see her camel toe. Mary Lou had a camel toe.
Means that และกลับเข้าสู่ My Man All Time BTK1radio.com Whatever, I'll do what I want.
You're listening to Mike's Madhouse on BTK1radio.com.
Worried about God. I'm afraid of what he might do if anything should happen to me.
God, but he's a robot. Without you, what could he do?
There's no limit to what he could do. He could destroy the earth. If anything should happen to me, you must go to God. You must say these words.
Dumalang, video Zuzi, and ready to Mike's Madhouse, more BKK1radio.com.
And now it's time for the Dumb American on Mike's Madhouse.
Back to dope tunes and stupid talk with White Boy Mike on Mike's Madhouse.